Podcast City.
Get on it.
Podcast City.
Get on it.
Oh, yeah, we are on it for sure. And I'll tell you what, this is the podcast I never wanted to do. This is the podcast that I absolutely, positively never, ever, ever wanted to do. Why? Because I never, ever wanted to get into a second wave of this mess. Okay? And let me tell you something. I am guilty as charged as you are. Well, most of you anyway. Because I had one leg in the fast reopen lane.
Yep.
Okay? It was wearing me down. It was messing with my mind. You know that song, My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me?
Yep.
It was starting to do it. I eagerly look forward to the reopening. And to Governor Baker's credit, in Massachusetts, he's done a good job of managing that, I feel. Especially now with the numbers that we have in front of me. Okay? One of the last states to reopen. One of the hottest hit. Thank God for our medical community, who were the first real line of defense through all of this. But, okay, the show that I didn't want to do is here, and do not shoot the messenger, folks. But this is episode 19. That's right. We brought you 19 episodes of Corona Chaos. And this one's called, Is the Second Wave Coming? And we made a mistake that you're told never to do in business, never to do in war, never to do in sports, and never to do when fighting a virus such as itself. We let it off the canvas to live to fight another day. We let it up. Lack of a uniform policy. And when I mean uniform policy, I do not mean that every state has to have the exact same stuff. States that are rural, Maine, Vermont, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, would be on the first timetable. Okay? Then your moderate states, your Midwestern states, your Nebraskas, your Iowas, your Nevadas, your New Mexicos, you know, the middle populated states would have their policy. Okay? This is not a one-size-fits-all, but there has to be a policy. And then, of course, the population centers on both coasts, Chicago, Detroit, Texas, Houston, Austin, Atlanta, Miami, Dade County, Fort Lauderdale County, Jacksonville, Tampa, they'd be in the third category with the restrictions for the most populous states. Because let's face it, if there's one thing, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, or you watch Fox, or you watch CNN, the one thing that is consistent, the one thing, the states would have people living on top of one another, okay, are the hottest hit. That's it. We can argue about masks, okay? We can argue about reopenings, even though it's of my opinion that the reopenings in Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Arizona hurt the fight against this.
Yep.
And we have the statistics to back it up. But people are going to go back and forth. But the one thing you really cannot go back and forth about, that you really, really can't go back and forth about, is this place bounces from person to person to person. We're going to tell you about a birthday party in Texas. We're going to tell you about what's going on in Texas, Florida, and California. We're going to talk about the apocalyptic possibilities that's going on in Houston right now. But first and foremost, we're going to start off with the numbers. In the world, 9,552,000 people have been infected with the corona, with 484,876 dying. In the United States of America, with 2,410,000 cases, we have only 122,000 deaths. In Massachusetts, 108 cases and 7,963 deaths. Most of these deaths in Massachusetts are people 83 years old. The average age of infection and getting this virus in Massachusetts is 52. In Fall River, 1,570 people have got the coronavirus and 99 people have died. So 100 people in this city have died. In Bristol County, 8,107. If you could do the math, Brian, for the population of Bristol County and the population of Fall River and get a percentage of that with your phone, if you could, you don't have to do it now, but while we get into the show. Mm-hmm. So there are the numbers. And the biggest problem in 29 states, while we thought the curve was flattening, as it is in Massachusetts, in 29 other states, they are rising. Some states at horrific levels. Texas, Florida, California are all setting records for the COVID-19 cases. Brian, there are no borders. There are no bodies of water. There are no walls and forts that can stop this disease.
No, unfortunately.
It is airborne. It bounces from place to place. What's your opinion on what is happening right now in the uptick of the corona chaos?
Well, I think a lot of it is the jump to restart the economy. You know, it kind of led to kind of the second wave of what we're seeing right now.
But not in Massachusetts, it hasn't.
No, because to me, I think this was managed more effectively in Massachusetts. Not,
This one?
Massachusetts managed it more effectively than most other places.
Sure.
And also, Massachusetts is number one in the country right now for having the lowest spread rate of
Sure.
COVID-19 in the United States at 0.67.
Is that the policy or is that the hospitals?
I think it's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's good hospitals,
Sure.
but it's also about not passing it on to the next person.
Sure. So mask, they say it's working. I sent you some data about masks.
Yep.
In states that are really stressing mask usage. Mm-hmm. And they're going the right way.
Yeah.
Do you have that information in your phone that I gave to you? That was the first piece of information.
The first one.
That I sent you. My friend Mike Robleski sent that to me.
Very smart guy.
A very smart guy, without question.
Yeah.
But he has this chart and graph that says where people are wearing masks, the cases are going down or flattening. Where they are not, where they are in rebellion over wearing masks, okay? The cases are going up. Certainly.
Okay, the first thing that I have is it says North Texas family shaken after 18 relatives test positive.
Sure, but that's not what I asked you. I asked you something very simple. To get Michael Robleski's the thing that I sent to you from him. It's a chart about wearing masks. We're going to get into that Texas family.
Yeah, I don't have the chart here.
We're going to get into the Texas family in a little bit, but certainly, okay. With these numbers increasing, Latin America. Latin America, COVID cases have tripled. There are 2 million plus infections in Latin America alone. Okay? A hop, skip, and a jump from our west and southwestern borders. Okay? Brazil, in our hemisphere. Outrageous numbers. Sadly, they're talking about the city of Houston numbers rivaling the apocalyptic levels of the numbers in Brazil per capita. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We do not have a policy and structure and guidance and education coming from the top. States' rights and states governing themselves are good for certain things, but not a worldwide pandemic. It is not. While Maine politically may be very different than Montana, okay? But they probably share the same land-to-person ratio and on all of that, and that's why they should be lumped in the same type of category. Okay, you do not have to be a rocket scientist, but there is none. Do you think that it was a mistake that we haven't had a national policy with different levels of restriction and rollouts and reopenings, depending on what your caseload looks like, what your infection rate looks like, what your population looks like?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. I think that there should have been one from the very beginning, and much less now that we're 3 months into this. I just think that had there been guidance going forward with this, then I think that there would have been a lot, it would have been able to, work a little more closely together and be able to, bring this to a resolution.
Bring it to a resolution? How the fuck are we going to bring it to a resolution? These numbers are increasing, Brian.
Yeah.
These numbers, these what are we in the 5th month of Corona, I believe?
Headed for it, yeah.
Well, no, I thought I read today that we're in the 5th month of it, and it's just it's mind blowing that we are back here. Like, and I'm at fault too. I thought we had it on the ropes. I thought that we were turning the corner. And then you see crowded beaches in Georgia, Florida, and Texas. You see spring break. I mean, what was the Mexican hotel that 69 American students got infected at during spring break? And what do? These people aren't from Mexico, and they're not probably from Texas. They're college students from everywhere. Look at that party and what happened in Texas.
Yep.
This is what the danger that one person infected can do. Okay? In North Texas, a family get hit hard after having a backyard 30th surprise birthday party, okay? 18 relatives catch the coronavirus. 3 of them are hospitalized. Two of them are fighting for their lives. The mother and the grandfather and the grandmother are fighting for their lives. A woman who is recovering from breast cancer is fighting for her life. One backyard party infected 18 people. And this guy said, he comes out and says, I'm sorry. I was wrong. What a terrible decision. We didn't think it could happen to us like everybody else. But it happens. Mm-hmm. And you know what they're saying now? That disease is being spread by 20 to 30-year-olds in backyard cookouts, in backyard pool parties, in backyard birthday parties where people are getting together. They may not be packing the clubs. They may not be packing the restaurants. They may think they're safer outside. They very well will be. But they are not immune. They said this thing is being passed backyard party to backyard gathering, back and forth. And you see it. Pool business, way up. People building decks, way up. We have clients
Sure.
that do it. They're overbooked. Mm-hmm. They're overbooked. We don't need that. We got this right here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're overbooked. Pool supply companies, pool companies, businesses booming, decks, outdoor grills, outdoor furniture. People are saying, "Oh, you know something? I played the game. I've worn the mask. I did the quarantining. The summer's coming. What's wrong with having 20, 25, 30 people over for a party? I miss it." And listen, let me tell you something. I get you. I can't wait to get back there. I cannot wait to get back, till being at the pool with my best friends, with people I enjoy talking to, having a burger, having a beer, having a hot dog, shooting the shit. But when you hear stories like this, it gives you pause. I'm seriously thinking of self-quarantining like we did the last time, about 80%,
Yep.
again for another 30 days. I'm going to walk, okay?
Yep.
And I'm going to go to my brother's. But that might be it. That might be it for me.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that. This shakes the system for a lot of people. Really and truly, I mean, like we were saying about, the people that have been dying from this. This was why nursing homes were off limits for people.
Sure.
This is why hospitals were off limits for people.
But
this was to keep that away from.
Sure, but you can understand that. But people think they're safe in their backyard.
Sure.
They're outside. They're not surrounded by 150 people over the age of 80 who aren't feeling well as it is. They're not in hospitals with corona. It's an entirely different thing, Brian.
Right, but you don't need it.
What?
You don't need it. If you all you need is one person, and it doesn't matter whether that person is 15 or 50.
Sure. But like I said, I think we got lulled to sleep.
Yeah.
I think the 5 months of quarantining, I think all that went into it. Milton was tired of it. I was tired of it. You were tired of it. Everybody was.
Sure.
And when the weather gets out, the natives get restless. When it's 85 and sunny, who the fuck wants to be in the house?
Not me.
Okay? So I think people were tired of it. Summer was coming. They got a little of that summer mania, okay? And now thankfully, in Massachusetts, the numbers are decreasing. Mm-hmm. But how long is that going to last if in 28 other states, they're going up? And in 8 or 9 states, they're spiking.
Yep.
I mean, we are not an island. As much as this country is divided, okay, we're all connected. Sure. Yeah, we got the Rockies. Yeah, we got the Appalachians. We got the Ohio River and the Mississippi River. And we got the 2 oceans. But this stuff finds a way. It finds a way. And it hit that family hard. Okay? Look what it did to Texas football. 12 players got infected. LSU football, 30 players quarantined coming off their national championship season.
Yep.
Okay? The 64 people in a hotel room. The 18 people in the backyard. the amount of young people. This was a disease that young people were supposed to be immune from, Brian. But in Florida, where do young people go in March? Where do they go? They go to Texas for spring break. They go to Florida for spring break. Okay? They go to California for spring break. What are the three states that are spiking? Texas, Florida, and California. Okay? You do not have to have an analytical, math-dominated mind to figure this out. I am terrible in math, but I can read these numbers. I can see the trend. I can see the averages. I can see the commonalities shared.
Yeah.
Okay? In Florida right now, 20% of the cases on the age 25 to 34.
Yep.
20. This is a disease. Excuse me. This is a virus that we were told that young people were supposed to be immune from. That young people were supposed to, have it, that they didn't have to worry about it. Okay? Now you're 20% of these cases. How many of these 20% are going to take it back to their parents and grandparents who are at risk? Mm-hmm. How many people are going to do that? Yeah. That's what I want to know. If it has the same effect that it had on that backyard party in Texas, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, start saving your pennies because round 2 is coming. I firmly believe that we are going to have another shutdown. We're going to have another shutdown. President Trump wants the NFL to play in the worst way, and so do I. And Roger Goodell says, we're going to play, and we're going to provide a safe environment for our fans, our players, and our staffs, and their families. How is that possible?
I don't see it.
How is that possible? Are you going to play? I mean, you're going to have fans there?
Well, they're talking about, I think, like a quarter of the stadium might be filled. Maybe a little bit more.
We know that this. We've seen the animation. We've seen the doc rooms. Mm-hmm. Just one person talking or coughing or sneezing, it goes over 20 feet.
Yep.
20 feet the particles that could possibly be carrying this. I don't know how you're gonna pull it off. I really don't. And if the numbers at the University of Texas and LSU, are that high, these are programs, Brian, with the best medical people.
Sure.
I mean, football is business at the University of Texas. Football is God in Baton Rouge. And they're the national champions. Yep. You know that these guys have the best of the best available to them. And yet, outbreaks. If Texas can't do it and LSU can't do it, how the fuck is the NFL going to do it? I don't know.
I think their only hope is gonna be that they are able to, test people regularly, find out, who tests positive, and be able to isolate them away from the teams as much as possible. Major League Baseball is talking about doing that.
Yeah, but they're all going to do that. That's obvious. If somebody's infected, Brian, they're not going to let them in a fucking locker room.
Right.
How is that state of the art? That's rudimentary thought right there.
Right, and the thinking is that it's not going to be a matter of if, it's going to be a matter of when.
Sure, but who's to say that these kids spread it amongst themselves? But who does it say that they caught it from one another?
Exactly.
You don't know what they're bringing in.
You have no idea.
You don't know who they're going to see. Anytime you have 70 guys banging the shit out of each other, bleeding on one another, sweating on one another, saliva coming on one another. Look at the amount of saliva that takes place with the big hit in football or on the offensive line. You ever hear when the air comes out of you?
Yeah.
What is the air? Saliva.
Sure.
Watch it. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. And we need a national information campaign. The doctor I watched in Houston today was begging people.
Yeah.
He was begging people. If you could see what I see, if you see the numbers that we have, if you see the stress it has put on its hospitals, okay? If you could see it, you would do everything that we're telling you to do.
Yeah.
But not enough people have seen it. People think this thing is fake. Go talk to the family from Amarillo's Market. Go to the couple that were 53 years old that died a day apart. Yep. Married for 53 years. Texas couple. Mm-hmm. They both go down within 24 hours one another due to the corona. Alone. Yeah. Alone. What a horrible way to die. The stock market is not reacting positively to this. Okay? We thought we were going to get a bump with the reopening. Instead, the money's going down. And it is because of a lack of proper policies in place. The Europeans, could you ever possibly imagine the Europeans having a travel ban on the United States?
Never.
They want Americans over there. They want American servicemen. They want their wives. They want their kids. Most importantly, they want vacationers. They want them over there spending their money. As much as they call them the ugly Americans, they want that money.
Sure.
Like everybody else. Could you imagine that the European Union is considering a travel ban against the United States? We're usually the country that has travel bans against China, against Africa, certain countries in Africa when other viruses were going crazy. We're usually the country that says, hey, wait a minute. We're the one that wanted to build a wall. Hey, wait a minute. Now other countries are saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys don't have a handle on this. China and Germany are in lockdown.
Again.
Open air market, slaughterhouse, meatpacking facility, in the food. Mm-hmm. No bueno. No bueno. Brian, let's talk about the guidelines for schools coming up because I'm paying attention to Facebook and parents are pissed off. Today, Mass Governor Charlie Baker, who I think could be the poster boy of how well he's handled this coronavirus across the country, okay? We may not look at him as popular as the rest of the country will after this.
Right.
Okay? But he puts guidelines in place for mass schools, okay? You've done some homework on it. Why don't you tell me about it?
Well, again, it's going to involve a whole lot of testing. It's going to involve possibly having to keep people in isolation, and it's going to, they're going to, they're going to invest $200 million into COVID-related resources.
Sure. But it's not going to be isolation, Brian, because Governor Baker said we are getting away from isolation because it's bad for the kids' mental and physical health. Right. Isolation will not happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Mask for second grade and up.
Yep.
Second grade and up, you're going to have to wear a mask. You must sit 3 feet away from the next student. What the 3 feet is going to do, I don't know. Okay?
I don't know either.
But good luck having a second grader wear a mask. There will be no temperatures taken. They do not want, that's why your information is not accurate. There will be no temperatures taken because, and rightfully so, they do not want to publicly out people and ostracize young children by pulling them out of line because their temp's too high. Because then kids can be very cruel. They can start whispering.
Sure.
Do you remember when we were in public schools?
Oh, yeah.
When they used to check our hair for bugs?
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes after the nurse left, this guy, that guy, this guy, and that guy, come please see the nurse. Like everybody knew the 4 kids who had bugs in their hair.
Yep.
You know?
Sure.
And lice, like this virus, very difficult to control. They multiply quickly. They jump all over the place. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the deadly effect and the sickening effect. But as far as they jump around, spread, and are a nameless, faceless enemy, sort of very much like it. But they're not going to do that to kids. But they will make them wash and sanitize their hands upon arrival. So mandatory masks for second grade, 3 feet between students, no temperatures taken, and they're going to wash or sanitize their hands upon arrival. But Governor Baker reiterated twice, very powerfully, that there will be no isolation for kids. Kids need to get back in school. They need to be return to some type of normalcy because the doctors overwhelmingly told him it is damning to their mental and physical health. Imagine how difficult it is for adults who have a little life experience, who have a little salt on them, to kind of handle this stuff. People are losing their mind.
Yeah.
Now, when an adult is losing his mind, he's going to go on Facebook and say it.
Sure.
Okay? He's going to tell it to his neighbors and his girlfriend and his best friend and the neighbor's dog. Everybody's going to know about it. But how do kids, are they going to internalize it? Probably. They're going to be least likely to verbalize it than adults, I believe, or verbalize it effectively. Yeah. Sometimes kids have enough time talking about just about anything of something that's really bothering them.
Yeah.
You know? And we have the best doctors in the world. Governor Baker has access to them. And he's come out and said that this isolation is bad for kids. And that's one of the reasons why he is hell-bent on opening schools. And right now, where mass is going, we're trending down. This policy is for today. But we get a long way away from school. And
talk to us in a couple of weeks when we get a little closer.
I mean, where is the virus going to go from Texas? You would think Oklahoma. You would think New Mexico. You would think Louisiana or Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas, there was a meat plant that just got.
Yeah, but these are the border states.
Yep.
California.
Sure.
You know, where is it going to go? These microbes and these.
It's going to keep circulating.
They're not going to get to the. They're not. It's not going to get to the Rockies or Tijuana and say, oh, wait a minute, we're leaving California. We're going to turn around and go back and infect some more people. No, it's not going to work that way.
No, it's basically going to be, oh, look, hey, here's a place we can have fun, like, you know.
And there are still conflicting messages about the mask. The World Health Organization says wear it.
Yep.
No, says not to wear it. The Surgeon General says to wear it. Where is the Surgeon General? Where is Dr. Fauci? Haven't seen or heard from him. Where is the president? Poll numbers way down.
Yep.
But Trump's, don't underestimate him. Do not underestimate, him pulling a comeback. And the polls have been wrong about him before. Do not underestimate his strength. But his handling this, Brian, I told you from the beginning, he is a motivator. He is an orator. He is somebody that people go to. Okay? Leadership.
Yeah.
Just the qualities. Whether he's good or not at it, we'll talk about that for another day.
Yeah.
Okay? But his base pays attention.
Oh, they certainly do.
And the polls have been wrong before. But the handling of this crisis is hurting him.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt him more than the race thing. The race thing may help him in the long run. It's going to hurt him more than the economy. It's going to hurt him. When you say the numbers are up because we're testing more, so I'm going to stop the testing, people are like, what the fuck? Did I hear that?
I have a vision in my mind of a 7-year-old going, no, 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 no. He doesn't know. He doesn't want to know. And I think that's been his ammo.
I think
this
I
whole
understand what his point was trying to be. It was saying, hey, listen, don't get alarmed. The numbers are going to increase with the more tests we do. Okay? But that's not enough. Now but then he throws in, so we might have to stop the funding. Because he doesn't want these, it's about the economy. And he don't want these numbers adversely affecting the stock exchange or the NFL, okay? Or business or unemployment. That's what he was worried about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I understand that. There has to be, those measures have to be taken seriously. But don't say you're going to defund it. Or you're gonna stop the testing and pull the money and pull the programs.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed. You know, try to articulate better. Stay on message and say, hey, listen, listen, people have to understand that we expected this spike in numbers because we're testing more. Okay? But maybe the ratio has stayed the same, or maybe it's not. Some of the numbers can lie and be manipulated. But, you know, it's important that we get the economy going and show some strength so the stock market can continue to recover and unemployment can come down and yada, 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 and yada, yada. But he doesn't. He says that gruffly and walks away. And people look at him like, what?
Sad but true.
Florida and Texas are states he absolutely has to win
Yeah.
to get elected. And this governor, I've talked to 5 people that I know that have moved from Florida back home in the last 2 weeks. 5 people I know. And if I had the permission, I wish I could name them.
Yeah.
Smart, prominent people, young and old.
Yep.
Young and old.
Sure.
Say, this is bananas. This governor's a joke. You know, I gotta get back home. You know?
Yeah.
When you're coming back to Farmville looking for sanity, you got big problems, brother. You got big problems. If you're leaving Florida, you know, because it's that insane, and you're coming to Farmville for sanity, God bless you. God bless you. So the national policy is certainly hurting things. The dangers of letting each state kind of put their own thing in, I think, has backfired. We're still getting mixed messages from the spokespeople that matter.
Yep.
The WHO, the Surgeon General, this governor, that governor. Okay? But the numbers that Mike Robleski provided me today with the mask-wearing, social distancing states, okay, you can see the contrast clearly with their numbers holding or declining, not spiking as it is in 28 other states. You know what I'm most concerned about? We haven't even talked about it yet. The frontline American medical worker who has to be like just shaking their head, you know, bust their ass, 16-hour days, 24-hour shifts. I'll never forget the lasting image from this coronavirus for me, okay, was the picture of the 5 medical workers sleeping in an office, in chairs, head on a desk, head against the wall, and all kinds of, still in uniform, just totally beat up. Brian, do they have enough left in the tank to fight this again? Milton?
No. I don't know anybody who does.
Do they have enough left to battle this thing like they did? Because let me tell you something. I said it once, and I'm going to say it again. The American frontline medical worker bailed our ass out with the first wave of corona. It was the first line of defense that actually worked. All the early radar, all the early detection, all these smart doctors that haven't seen a hospital room in 30 years that are in powers of position, they all missed it. The first time we started holding the fort and holding the line and winning again was at our hospitals, led by the American nurse, the American doctor, and the frontline worker. And I don't know if they have enough left in the tank to do it a second time. They have to be exhausted. They have to be burnt out. Their mental health can't possibly be where they want it to be after seeing so much suffering and sickness around them. They've already taken too much time away from their family. They've already given themselves up too much to fight this nasty virus. Can they do it again?
It's going to be awfully hard.
We're going to ask them to. Unfairly.
Very unfairly.
Where's their fucking bonus? We're giving Ruth Chris Steakhouse money. We're giving the Los Angeles Lakers money. Okay? We're bailing out corporations here, there, and everywhere. Where's the $25,000 bonus for the American medical worker? Where is the college loan forgiveness?
That's just what I was going to say.
Where are the tax credits? Where is it all?
Yep.
All they did was punch Corona in the face and keep it on hold until these crazy whacked out governors in Texas and Florida and Georgia and other places, reopen the country again. And I saw the crowded beaches. I'm like, oh, shit. I saw the packed parks. I'm like, oh, shit. I see the backyards, the pool party. Remember that pool party I showed you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in that pool party if I was sterilized with no corona. I mean, there were people literally sweating on top of one another. And I get it. You wanted to get out. But come on, man. Baby steps. Let's walk before we run. Yep. And now we're going to go back to the American metal worker who we haven't done shit for. They're not getting unemployment.
Nope.
You know what I mean? They're not getting an extra $600. All they're doing is busting their ass. And we're going to go back to the nurses and back to the phlebotomists and back to the x-ray techs and back to all those people that work in those hospitals and say, hey, listen, I shake their hand and say, I appreciate the first time, but we got to do it again.
Yeah.
All that talk about the nurses and the frontline heroes, corporate America with billboards and commercials and everything, thanking the frontline workers. Why don't you write the check?
Talk is cheap.
Get your boy Trump to write the check. Because if anybody deserves it, they do.
Yeah, it's time for them to put their money where their mouths are.
And there is imminent available hospital rooms and beds left. There's less than 20% left in Florida. Mm-hmm. There are shortages in Houston. There are shortages in California. There are shortages in Florida. There are shortages in Louisiana. Okay? New York is thinking about making visitors quarantine for 14 days. Yep. There are sheriffs in North Carolina that told the governor they will not enforce the coronavirus laws and restrictions. They're not going to enforce the social distancing, and they're not going to enforce the mask waving. when police, ultimately the governor is in charge of the county sheriffs, okay, and in charge of the National Guard. So what are we going to do? We're going to go arrest some sheriff from some cowpoke county in western North Carolina with the National Guard?
No.
People are mad. Oh, yeah, that's what's going to happen, Brian. You cannot defy the governor. Why are you saying no? What are you going to do?
I don't know how a law like that can possibly be enforced.
Only one way. Only one way it can be enforced.
Okay.
And that's a mass medical emergency. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Or war.
Which is how most of this stuff got passed.
Yeah.
Before.
I mean,
leading
that's,
up to now.
But the danger is this: when you have county sheriffs defying governors, and the governors threatening to do this, that just brings us more apart.
Sure.
I did a thing on the divided states of America the other day. When you have law enforcement, saying that they're not going to enforce the legislation and the laws that are being put in place by the governor during this crisis and honor his ability to use executive order in times like this, that is problematic. That is absolutely, that's the last thing we want. I hope and pray that the American medical worker, I hope and pray, okay, that they've got enough left in the gas tank.
And I hope there's enough counselors available for them, for the medical workers to be able to deal with the PTSD that is eventually gonna come from this.
I mean, how much more do they have left? We have seen what the stress and seeing the horrors up close and personal have done to our military combat veterans.
Yep.
We have seen it. When is that going to happen with the first responders and the frontline medical workers?
I think it's already starting to happen.
It's inevitable. We haven't heard enough about it. We haven't seen it. Okay? Are the hospitals going to double their counselors or triple their counselors? What are we going to do to help them? Because we would have been fucked the first time without them, and we're going to be fucked the second time, if they don't have enough.
Second, third, and fourth time.
And they don't have enough in the gas tank. And still, with all the talk and all the clap and all the golf claps and all the politically correct bullshit that you read everywhere.
And honking the horns at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, what have we done for them to help them? Have we eased their burdens for their mortgages? Have we wiped their debt out? Have we forgiven their student loans? We haven't done a goddamn thing for them. And I apologize that we haven't, because we should, because you've earned it. This country, okay, used to be about the people that do more and give more and respond to adversity and welcome it and sacrifice themselves for the good of others, okay? And John F. Kennedy's quote, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for this country. People who rose to that, okay, were set on a pedestal and made examples to look at and emulate. And people wanted to be them, and people treated them right, and their government responded. What have we done for them? The answer is nothing. Nothing. Now, yeah, we have done something for them. We've asked them to work 16 hours a day. We've asked them to spend less time with their families. We've asked them to put their mental health at risk. We've asked them to put their physical health at risk. We've asked them not to get burnt out, okay? And we've asked them for more and more and more and more. Well, how many times can you go to the tank, Jack? Not too many more. I am the hurricane. A second wave is coming. Batten down the hatches and get ready. Peace.
Podcast City.
Get on it.
Podcast City.
Get on it.